Hello and welcome to Chesapeake Today. It's David Loop, your Executive Director.
And Kim Johnson.
All right, Kim, here we are. Goodness, the first week of August.
Wow.
You know, it's amazing that on some regards, we're in this time warp of living with COVID and wanting there to be that vaccine. But the flip side, it moves along quickly.
Yes.
It's like, is it going fast? Is it going slow? And I just continue to put my arms around what is the truth of time movement.
We're going to blink and it'll be Christmas.
Oh my gosh, we will blink and be Christmas.
Already, like, what happened here?
But I think we got a lot more, and we got a lot of days to enjoy and celebrate between now and Christmas.
Yes,
and let's
we do.
Touch on some of those things. So first of all, anything fun that you want to share this week?
Okay, there's a couple of facts for August the 3rd. One is a birthday fact, and then the other is just a date fact.
Okay.
The first is August 3rd, of course, today, Christopher Columbus discovered America.
And that was 1492?
Oh, you know your history.
Well, that's one that you always remember.
All right, and the second fact is Mary Kuhn, born this day, 1905 to 1995. She was the one who spearheaded the Gray Panthers.
Okay.
And that was because she was forced to retire at age 65. And so she started that movement and the foundation where that would not be a discriminatory fact for people who wanted to continue to work. So I thought that was a very interesting fact. And she was born in Buffalo, New York, my hometown.
Your hometown? I didn't know that. Buffalo, New York. So did you root on for the Buffalo Bills?
I did for years and years, but I don't keep up with it now.
Yeah. And of course up there, just a few inches of snow a year.
That's why I'm here.
60, 70, 80.
Too much snow, too cold. I'm done. I'm done.
Niagara Falls nearby.
Beautiful.
Crossover. Niagara on the Lake there.
It's all beautiful.
Hamilton, Toronto. Been up there many times. Very nice. All right. So that's interesting history.
Yeah.
Thank you for sharing it. Things around the Chesapeake. I know I can first just emphasize and say to residents that I really compliment our residents' perseverance and their upbeat attitudes and just coming out and enjoying things. And it's great seeing them, whether in participating in an event, even casual things, whether it's playing pool, some guys playing cards, seeing the different folks participating in activities.
Library,
the exercise programs. And I think what we're continuing doing is just giving you a lot of positive, upbeat things to consider.
Right.
Residents make their choices. Residents make a decision that, you know what, I want to enjoy. I want to have things to participate in. And then some are, I'm still a little cautious. I know we've been checking weather.com, which helps us with what's been the previous 24-hour uptick in COVID cases in Newport News.
Yes.
If you use that technology. And we've seen it go up and down and up and down, and that's caused some concern. Yes, we've had a couple team members that are away, and we've tested at different points of time because, yes, they were positive, and now they're away in quarantine until they can return after the appropriate testing. We stand very positive that we have no residents with
That's
COVID.
Wonderful.
That's still a blessing.
Yes.
So all that is that tightrope. But on the flip side, what are the upbeat, positive things that we can create? And I know that you and your team are really working hard to bringing that normalcy back, giving residents some choices, and that's my lead into what are some of the things going to be happening.
Oh, so I hope they're excited for what we're trying to do and bring back. We're going to have the mind-bending quiz show. That is completed, so we're going to test that. We have the virtual reality goggles. We've been talking about that, so that is on the calendar. We have a lot of entertainers, so I know that the residents in the forum, and when I talk in general, have expressed entertainers, new entertainers, more entertainers. So that is going to happen. We have Billy Mitchell, Thomas Pandolfi. We have a new group, Sentimental Journey, so I hope they like them. And then some more things to come, so just keep looking out for that. And we're having shopping. That's back. The Dollar Tree, Lido grocery store, the mystery bus ride. So those are things that they could look forward to and participate in. And then we're going to start the beginner's German class.
Yeah.
So I hope that goes well, and everybody, I'm excited.
Yeah. Well,
So I hope they are too.
I still, Stan waited to hear the first report of Uwe doing that with residents, and does he treat them with some German chocolate cake? Although it's not German, it was named after a man by the name of German. I'll keep mentioning that. Or does he introduce something else fun for that? Because again, education and
Yes.
eating and learning, I don't know, I just think nibbling.
They go together,
I
right?
think so.
We'll talk to him more
Yeah.
about having some food
Yeah.
while he teaches that class to see if,
Yeah,
'cause
never
food
know
brings
where
them out. Bring people together.
It will. It will. Well, those are, I think, excellent. And I think, what we want residents to witness and to see is that, there's a deliberate effort of trying to create safe choices, fun things, uplifting, and just keep adding them, keep pushing them out
Right.
there. And again, we recognize that some residents will feel very comfortable participating, some may not. I know we've had our first live worship service
Yes.
this past Sunday, and I think that was a very important event. And just showing that there's ways for that to occur. And I also remember Uwe saying he's gotten very positive response from some of our external volunteers
Okay.
who lead worship.
Wonderful.
So that's returning. So those are all things that are just they're choices. And I know I'd been talking with Bruce Malo, and between his initiatives and his team, and working closer with your team, looking more and more of those themed events.
Yes.
And it's not just for independent residents, but I know we're very much looking at themed events and things that could occur throughout the house.
Right.
Assisted living, memory, and healthcare as well.
Absolutely. And we have Chrysler Glass Studio coming up, and the Dolphin Trip. So
those are some external trips.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, things where residents have that choice to go outside,
Right.
see some of the culture and fun
Right.
things in our area. And well, it's
And
good
just
to
know that they don't have to be in their apartment. They can come out, and there are options.
Yeah. I think that what we just have all learned is we have to find this balance.
Right.
I think the thing that I think everyone in humanity has just come to realize that a face mask has to be part of life.
Yeah.
And I know we don't wear them here, but we feel comfortable. We remain the fact that we're tested. When we leave this location, our masks are back on.
Right.
And we affectionately say, keep your mask up, don't let your guard down. And I think that's just a message we want to continue to relay. But for us to wear the mask, to go out, to have some normalcy, to have group events, social distance with mask, but we just want to see more things return.
Right.
Good.
Absolutely.
Okay. Real fine. Other topics that you'd like to cover this week?
Well, just be thinking always about things that you want to do. The resident. You know what? If you see something that we don't have, or if it's something that's on your bucket list, something you may have wanted to learn, share that with us. We can't express that or solicit that enough to give us that feedback, so that if the things that we're having are of no interest to you, you give us some more ideas so that we can do our best to make those happen and keep ourselves COVID safe.
That's right. And I think as those ideas are coming from residents, can be a very small idea to something that's a bigger program or event. I know your team's working on a couple big things.
Yes.
And when we plan out some big events, I think we have to be nimble. Nimble as to, yes, it may happen as planned. We may have a little bit of variation depending on circumstances at a time, but just things to look forward to, which is great. And I also know with Crystal, you and I and others, really trying to continue to fine-tune these technologies. I appreciate all that's been accomplished on the in-house channel and using Touchdown. But we definitely have dollars that we want to spend to bring our technologies even to a higher level. So we're researching that, and we'll hopefully come up with some good decisions on that.
Okay.
And there's also, probably at a future show, we may just really get into some of the discussions of some 3 big projects. And I'm not even talking about phase 3 renovations. I'm talking about the memory care healthcare courtyard and how that's proceeding. And it's probably very likely that we'll have this blessing event with Uwe that we'll be able to put forth, and it'll be talked about on the and you'll see a slide on Touchtown about it. But that project is going to be exciting. We're definitely looking at what we'll do in expanding the cafe area and seating there. And got these discussions happening this week with residents as well as some Chesapeake Club members on an outside space. And I think we're really starting to focus in on where we'll put the energy and some funds that are available this year to really do some unique things outdoors, which is part of a bigger vision, a bigger master plan. But those 3 projects, and that's not even talking about phase 3, which will begin here within the next 30 to 60 days, definitely before October 1st. So I think that's going to be maybe topics we'll have to show some diagrams and some pictures in upcoming shows.
And I think that'll be exciting.
Good. All righty. Anything else for today?
Well, in our town hall, I did mention the signature cookie contest, and you know how that response went in that group.
Yeah. Yeah.
So we said we will put that out. We are going to do some more marketing of that as far as getting that up and running, because we do want to have that signature cookie because residents have asked about it several times.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, that group was not interested. So
now,
we hope
if they're not, because here's maybe what we have to understand our residents. Our residents are outstanding at giving us really good ideas. Thank you. And of course, we can easily get them to taste and vote upon.
We could do that too.
So they may not want to offer or bake it, but we could use them for that. And I hear you say about a cookie, but I will say this. My mother, and I have it, her homemade butterscotch pecan rolls. Now, I could see an incredible signature roll coming out of the cafe. But now that's a loop recipe, and some residents like the loop pies and the loop cookies, but no, that butterscotch pecan roll is.
So can we taste that?
Yeah, it's.
Do you make it?
I've done it. Yes. You have to rise the dough twice.
Okay.
Is rise? I think that's the right word.
Yes.
So it's got yeast, and it's good. And you flip it over, it's on those pecans. When it's done, it's warm, and it's the softest dough. It's soft, it's got this great flavor to it. It's not real strong with cinnamon, but it's there.
Okay.
And the butterscotch comes more from, the Karo syrup and some brown sugar and some other things, and then you have to have fresh pecans. Oh, it's good. So anyways, another day.
Okay, that's another day.
All right, well, I think we'll go ahead and sign off for today. This is Chesapeake and Today's Show with Kim and David, and we'll very quickly here step into our special interview of the week. Thanks for joining us.
Bye now.
Well, welcome back to the Chesapeake Today Show, and this week it is my pleasure to be interviewing Candace Montgomery, our Director of Fitness and Vibrance. Candace, welcome.
Yes, thank you. I'm glad to be here.
Well, as I've gotten to know you over the last several years, it first was from a transition of you being a team member of the Chesapeake to then becoming associated with our NIFS program.
Yes.
So it's been nice for me to get to know you better. But today it's just all about the residents getting to know even more about you.
Right, exactly.
So why don't we turn the clock back just a few years.
Okay.
Where are you originally from? Anything you want to share about family, background, values from family, anything about that you'd like to share?
Sure. So I'm from the area, from Fox Hill. My mom still lives in Fox Hill. My husband and I have been together since high school. So both went to the same high school. So we've been married for almost 5 years. We have a 2-year-old son, which keeps things very busy, keeps us entertained for sure. He has quite the personality. And we have a golden retriever. So we like to do lots of things outdoors with that. As far as my background with working at Chesapeake, I've been here for a while. Used to work in the therapy department downstairs, so came from being a contract employee to coming with the fitness department, being a Chesapeake employee, and then now bounced back to being contract with NIFS. So consider myself a part of the Chesapeake family all around.
Absolutely,
So.
well, we do as well.
Thank you.
Fantastic. Well, educationally, so what high school did you go to? And I know you've gotten some advanced degrees now.
Yes, most definitely. So I went to Bethel Christian School. It's where my husband and I met. It's a private school. Then from there I went on to Thomas Nelson, did 2 years there, got an associate's in science, and then I moved on to ODU, getting my degree, my bachelor's in exercise science. Then more recently, I went on to St. Leo University and got my master's in healthcare administration. So
fantastic.
yes.
So we're very blessed. Knowing that you've accomplished so much in that education pursuit, I'm sure parents are very proud.
Yes.
Mom, we see in the building, so go ahead, make sure
definitely.
everyone brag about Mom, because
Yes.
she's going to brag about you always.
Right, yes. I'm an only child, so she tends to brag a little bit. My son has taken rank a little bit, though I don't think I'm the favorite quite as much.
Yeah.
But she does come here on Thursdays with Dr. Freeman, so they do dentistry here. So they enjoy coming, seeing the residents, and residents like to talk to her about, oh, Candace does this in exercise class. It's a nice compromise there.
Good.
Yeah.
Well, nice having these connections.
Yes,
They're excellent.
definitely.
Well, fine. Well, as you've been working now through the Chesapeake, and it is a fascinating background of being in the therapy department, then really as fitness, and taking a step further. What's some of the things that you've sort of seen change here at the Chesapeake as those programs have evolved and you've been a part of them?
Sure. Yes, definitely when it comes to the fitness aspect, things have definitely changed from when I can remember even just shadowing, being a part of the fitness or the rehab area when I was still in college. Things have evolved. There's a lot more classes that are offered, better resident participation, I would say. Residents definitely love the variety. They like that each class they come, don't know what they're going to get. The music might change up. So we're always keeping them on their toes, which is really important. So that muscle memory is a big thing. If you do the same thing each class, you're not really working those muscles like you should.
Very good. Well, you sort of mentioned the relationship that you've enjoyed between being a contract employee and then to the Chesapeake payroll, and now, in essence, NIFS is a contract relationship. And we now have that in several places. We have it clearly with NIFS. And again, I want to make sure I'm saying it correctly. NIFS stands for National Institute for Fitness
And sport, you got
Sports.
it. Yes.
So NIFS is that acronym, and forgive us residents as we often use those terms, but clearly a partnership that was very important to LifeSpire several years ago when we entered into this relationship. I think NIFS is based out of Indianapolis.
It is, yes.
And their work with senior living organizations in a variety of different locations, as well as beyond, because I know
Definitely.
there's another element of their business. But it brought a level of expertise, a level of collaboration with these other community settings that could come here, and their team member, your position now, really parallels and bridges that information and programming so that we can even have a more robust wellness fitness initiative.
Definitely.
So I think that's fascinating. But then the element that I'm going to get into is where NIFS and now Cura, even our therapists
Therapy,
are
yeah.
all contract groups. How does it feel as an employee or as a contractor? Is there any difference? Or how does it feel to you? Because I think residents are curious about it.
Yeah, I don't feel like there is, but I think maybe it's because I've been here for so long. So I don't really feel that way, other than my paycheck coming from one source versus the other. I mean, I really consider myself to be a part of the family. Even when I worked in rehab, I felt that way too. So, and residents don't seem to, they treat you all the same. They feel like we're all a part of this team. So I would say, for me at least, I don't feel like there's a huge difference.
Oh, and that's my hope for all.
Yes.
Because, you know, what's fascinating, and you reference a paycheck, which we all think about. We're here of service to our residents, but we're all being paid.
Right.
Fact is, our residents are funding all of our paychecks. And whose account it's transitioned from doesn't matter as much
Right.
as to the fact that we're fully in service to our residents. And, you know, I just will always use that term of the greater Chesapeake family, trying to solidify, bring us all together, and how we're here to serve them the best we can.
Yes, most definitely.
So with NIFS, and then we moved into this vibrancy program. Why don't you help residents with a little bit about Vibrance? What does it stand for? How do you represent it?
That's a great option there that we're going to talk about that, because that's also on the August calendar that residents will see. I'll be doing a Vibrance overview presentation for residents, because Vibrance is often a term that we hear bounced around a lot, but residents really aren't sure what it is. Vibrance goes into everything that we do as far as planning. We want folks to have those, like we mentioned, the freedom to choose what they would like to do. So we want them to have a vibrant life. So talking about what they want to do, what they want to see, how they want to grow and have joy and purpose. So there's definitely lots of pillars of Vibrance, you know, joy and purpose, and just making sure that you're living your life truly to the best of your ability.
Well, I think having that philosophy, that culture. It clearly gives your team guidance, but I think it's for all of us. We have this mission of providing our residents and even our staff with choices in purposeful living, and then you add those pillars and those added philosophies of vibrance. I think simply we just want people to age well.
Yes, definitely.
And that's the whole initiative. So you've got some educational coming up this month. Last month, there was a lot of fun with the Blue Zone. Yes. Any highlight from that you'd like to?
Oh my goodness, the Blue Zone was great. I had hesitations coming out of quarantine if people were going to, feel comfortable coming out. But with each Monday, we had a lecture at 1 o'clock in the Chesapeake room. I also aired those lectures onto the in-house TV, and several residents who didn't feel comfortable coming, I emailed them the link so that they could watch it as well. But we had over 20 people per class. The first week, Chef Malcolm blew it out of the water by putting a shrimp gazpacho salad together, and residents were blown away with that. If you have food, they will come. So I always try to include that element. So that week we were talking about a plant-based diet, really how that is an important role in your overall health. So we partnered with Dining for them to offer some healthier options on the menu. That was a big success. Then the second week we talked about having a purpose. So we had residents actually fill out a questionnaire, just trying to get their mind in the right mindset of, do you really know your purpose? So residents wrote their purpose on a puzzle piece, and then when we were all finished, we put all of our puzzle pieces together of how each one of us, our purpose affects each other. We all need each other. That community comes back with vibrance as well. Then the next week we talked about moving naturally. So I told the residents that they weren't completely off the hook because people in the Blue Zones don't come to group exercise class. So I told them they still have to come to group exercise, but like gardening, people who are involved in the funny farm, simple things like that. You work muscle groups you forget you even have, bending down, pulling weeds, that sort of thing. So residents had a form where they filled out trying to guess how many calories are in housework. So residents, if you remember, making your bed only burns like 130 calories. So residents were not happy about that, because by the time you put the corner pockets there, you feel like this has to be at least 500 calories, right? So people who guessed closest to those numbers, they want a free pedometer to kind of track their steps. And then last week, our final week of Blue Zones, we talked about staying socially connected. And everyone agreed that even after this quarantine, how important is it to stay socially connected? So residents were encouraged. I gave them some free, little note cards where they could send at least 3 people a kind note that week, just to, whether it be you mail it or you just put it in one of your friends' cubbies, just something to stay socially connected, to really appreciate the people that you're close with. So residents, thank you so much for the great participation in that, and it was a really successful event.
Very cool.
Yeah.
Well, I think those types of themes, and I just think that that's just the exact type of thing Kim and I were talking earlier about just bringing these level of choices and just some fun and uplifting and rising above all the things that we've themed this year.
Right.
So appreciate all that you accomplished there.
Sure, yeah.
So I know one of the things that I had done recently, and it's a collective effort, but we are asking the residents a lot. I know Kim was holding her forums, sort of like listening groups, listening to them. You just spoke of some surveys and interaction that you're getting. We'd also ask early in July a survey as to some outdoor spaces and interests and activities. And we shared that survey results at the July town hall meeting. And one of the things that was very popular was the concept of outdoor concerts. Then we had interest in croquet and putting. Bocce was up there, and even a new sport. I say new because a lot of residents don't know about pickleball, but it's really up and coming. In fact, I was just talking with my neighbor who works for the Riverside Wellness System. He's over their wellness center and their racket clubs. And so he's been converting some of their tennis courts into pickleball.
Nice, okay.
And so it's something that I think as we move forward, there'll be some. And again, I think we're always thinking about when you create a new type of space, whether it's someone participating in croquet or putting or a walking trail, whatever, you've got these varying levels of participation. It may hit 20-25%, it could be 10%.
Right.
Even like the swimming pool falls into that category, perhaps even some of your exercises. But what I look forward to this week is sitting down with some residents to really further exploring these ideas of these outside areas.
Yes.
And something that, hopefully I'll be able to let you sit in if it doesn't coincide with one of your education or your exercise groups.
Right.
But for you to sit and sort of hear the residents' response to what would they like to see happen. And if there's any way for us to move forward with at least one outside space this year, we'd love to. And then we'll also keep input as to a future master plan and what we'll budget and plan for next year, maybe year after. But taking our 40-acre campus and really doing some very deliberate special things to either common areas outside or some of the courtyards. So doing that, and at the same time enhancing any equipment that you choose to change out within the exercise fitness room. And of course, later this year into early next year is going to be the big swimming pool renovation.
But yeah, residents are getting excited about it.
Yeah.
Sad that the pool will close, but happy for some much needed improvements.
Yeah, I think it's going to be, it's a beautiful pool, and I think it served us well. But now knowing more in detail about the refurbishments to the pool, the pool deck change, and some of the, I'll just say, some of the amenities of the room. It's going to be really cool.
Yeah, most definitely.
Yeah.
We're very excited.
Good. Well, those are, I think, good things for the residents to know that you and I are passionate about, and it's going to be happening.
Definitely.
Any parting final things? I know you talked about family, and I know there's men in your life, both husband and son.
I know, my golden retriever's a boy too, so I'm
so
outnumbered.
You're surrounded.
I know.
So then what do you do for your own fun? What's the hobby that you enjoy when you're not taking care of the guys?
Well, this time of year my mom has a pool in her backyard, so we are over there every night, it seems like. It tires all the boys out. Everybody is tired at night.
Yeah.
So we hang out. We spend a lot of family time. My mom lives 3 streets over, so we're constantly over there. My in-laws are in Smithfield, so everybody's really close. So family is really important to us. So that's really what we do, spend our quality time with them. As far as, so hot outside now, but usually we would like to go for walks or different things like that. But we hang out at the pool to keep cool.
Well, that's perfect, particularly with the heat that we've been seeing so far.
I know.
Good. Yeah. Well, Candace, thank you. I know the residents have enjoyed getting to know you. Hopefully you've enjoyed this special interview of the week with Candace Montgomery. Thank you all for joining us and being a part of the Today Show. Thank you so much.
Bye.